is Julian Edelman right here on the set. Good to see you.
Good to see you guys.
Relentless is your book.
Relentless.
And I see on the back you've got quotes from Robert Kraft, Bill Belichick, and Tom Brady. How'd you get those guys to give you quotes?
You know,
how'd you get those guys?
It took me 9 years to ask them for something, and this is the one thing I asked them for.
You never asked anything of those guys, huh?
Nah, they're
ever?
Not a signed jersey once from Tom.
Okay.
Bill, absolutely nothing. Mr. Kraft, no.
Mr. Kraft,
yeah.
RKK, as
RKK.
he's known.
He wants me to call him RKK, but
he just can't do it. You can't bring yourself.
RKK.
Well, he's technically my boss. I mean, he's in charge of broadcast opportunities, I guess, for the National Football League, and the NFL Network would not exist without him. I call him Bobby the K. Is that a little bit disrespectful? What do you think?
Nah, he's an easygoing guy. He's calm, cool, and collect when you call him anything. So,
guess what? I don't call him.
What?
Bobby the K.
I probably wouldn't have. I was just trying to make you. I was sugarcoating it. I was sugarcoating it, Rich. That's what we do.
Why do you call it Relentless? Why'd you come up with that one, Julian?
It's because it's about my story and my persona of how I've had to be to get to where I'm at.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? All the adversity and the injuries, all the no's I had to overcome.
Give me some examples, some of the no's that you had to overcome that's in this book here.
Well, whenever we were getting recruited out of high school, they bring all like the stud football players in the room, and the colleges would come in, and no one ever really looked at me. And then then you go to JUCO, and you weren't supposed to go play Division I quarterback anywhere. And then after Kent, trying to transition as a quarterback to play receiver in the National Football League, a lot of people said, hey, it's going to be a long road for him. And that's kind of how it's always been. I've always had to take the long road, and it's always been a bumpy one, but it's always been a fun one.
Again, Relentless is the book, and I don't want to give away too much of what's in there because I don't want to obviously hear it from Tom Curran. That what would you tell somebody why you are the player, man, you are today, with that journey being the beginning with that kid who got drafted, heard from the Bears, Belichick, Nancy trio on that draft day, the 7th round?
I think a lot of it has to do with my father, how he raised me and how tough he was on me with everything, whether it was baseball season, taking the bat and balls to the lake and on vacations and taking batting practice there, having my sister at first, catching. Well, I do infield or basketball when it was raining. We'd go to the gym. We'd rent out this little half-court gym and shoot for 5 hours. Or it was football, we're in the middle of the street, and he's putting out rocks, telling me which hole is which hole, and making me do all these kind of things, running through them and catching and all these throwing. I think all those things, along with, hearing the word no a lot, created a chip on my shoulder that has helped me get to where I'm at. I mean, everywhere I was always at, there was always a group of guys on the team, and I wasn't that guy that was supposed to make it. I was always, he's a good guy, he's a good player, and he works hard and he's got some athletic ability, but this guy right here, he's gonna go,
Even on the Patriots, you ran into that at some point?
I mean, first 4 years, yeah, you're playing behind people.
Welker, right?
You're playing behind a lot of guys, and Wes was one of them. And so it's just a story about obstacles, overcoming them, adversity, mindset, and basically how I became the way I am.
For more Rich Eisen Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV or download the Rich Eisen Show app.